God bless the child.
Introduce yourselves, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm Harper.
I'm Robert.
I'm Rodrigo.
So let's tell everyone, what is God Bless the Child about?
It's a feature-length film starring 5 of Robert's children, and it kind of follows them around for the day. And the younger kids don't know, but Harper's character, who's the oldest, is kind of weighing the potential that her mom might or might not come home. So she kind of takes on that responsibility of being a mom.
That's some heavy stuff to write about and be in.
Now, when you say 5 of his children, are they 5 of your actual biological children that you put into a movie?
Yeah, they're all mine.
Wow.
That totally takes Take Your Kids to Work Day in a whole new level.
And then you found a random second mother for them.
Yeah.
She's like, I didn't sign up for that. I don't know what was in my contract. I better go back and read it again.
So what was it like working with a group of siblings that are, I'm assuming you're not actual, are you also his child?
No, she is as well.
Yeah.
Oh, you is?
Yeah.
Oh, you is?
Oh, you is.
You is.
Welcome to live television, ladies and gentlemen. So do you feel in real life that like you kind of have to mother your brothers?
Not exactly. I mean, I was acting for the whole movie. I mean, I can relate to my characters
It wasn't
in
a
some
documentary.
way, but yeah, I mean, I do babysit them every once in a while, but it's not like I'm their actual mother. So.
Well, now that they've seen you play their mom on TV, can you actually try to pull that off at the house? Goes, no, you can't do that. And they have to listen to you now because they're still getting that mindset?
Well, yeah, they do this thing where I have to like get permission from mom and dad to be the boss.
They're going to get it in writing in triplicate on 4 forms.
Well, like if my mom's going grocery shopping, my Ezra, the 5-year-old, he'll go, "Mom, is Harper the boss?" And she'll go, "Yeah."
So what made you decide, I've got 6 kids, we're making a movie, and it's going to be depressing?
I think, well, we always kind of, Robert and I always talk about the films we want to make, and one of the things that was a value was the intimacy of the children, the way that they interact with each other, and that was really exciting for us because there's just a way that young children in the sibling setting work, and we wanted to capture that. My father had told me a story. He was the oldest of 4. And he had the story of God Bless Your Child is based off of that story that he told me, and and then I ended up with Harper being the oldest and 4 brothers. So he was the only boy of 4 sisters. So it seemed like it was appropriate to do. So we just kind of discussed it, and it came to be.
I've got to say, one of the things that I do like with being able to cast a group of siblings like that is most of the time in TV and in movies, people that are allegedly related look nothing alike. And it's always a little bit shocking when you actually see people that are really like, wow, genetics works. It's very because we're just so accustomed to being like, oh yeah, we're just going to cast these people. They're vaguely the same skin tone. It's good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that was kind of one of the motivations to make the film. I mean, not that specifically, but trying to cast, children in a real light in a film. Usually when you see a child character in a movie, they have like one horrible line in the movie, like, I like monkeys, and then it will cut to something else and then cut back to them later. So.
And they still like monkeys later.
Yeah. Don't we all, But it was a real challenge, but they did a really good job, and I felt like they were able to bring that to the table and capture it. So.
Do you think it was more of a challenge to cast people who had the chemistry because they grew up together as opposed to people who had to create the chemistry? If you were to do like 6 random kids instead of kids who already knew each other, they already knew how to play off each other, do you think it would have been more of a challenge to find a way and the movie maybe wouldn't have turned out the right way?
Yeah, I don't think you could have made it I don't think you could have made it with that group of kid actors because working with kids, just is really difficult. But yeah, the intimacy, I don't know if you would have been able to get it. Because there's touching, there's a way that siblings will touch and interact with each other that kids in general aren't even, it's like in school, they're just like, keep your hands to yourself all the time. So it would have taken a lot to get to that level.
So Harper, what was it like to try and rehearse at home with your siblings? Like, okay, right now is acting moment and now is just being people.
It was difficult, I guess, because my brothers are crazy and wild.
Now
and
that's
so
on camera forever. They're going to hold that over each
Oh
other.
yeah, they already know.
They're well
If
aware.
you've got 5 brothers, they are crazy and wild.
Well,
they travel in packs.
Eli is actually sure he's 95% caveman, so he knows he's crazy. But I mean, it's hard because like if we're like running through a scene beforehand, he like won't do it. He's like, well, we're not actually filming, so it doesn't count. But then like on screen, they usually are pretty good. But it's difficult.
So now that you've been in a movie, do you want to do more movies with your kids? Do you want to be more movies with your brothers? You're like, no, I'm done.
I have, ever since I was little, I thought it'd be fun to be an actress when I grew up. I mean, being one of those people that people look up to, that'd be pretty amazing.
That's a good way to put it. How about you guys? You're like, no, my kids are gone.
Some of the stuff we captured when we watch it, it's like, oh yeah, this was amazing, and it makes us really excited to consider projects. Some of the other boys are really interested in it, but then when we look back at remembering how to shoot or some of the live audio of us, we're like, yeah, we should probably not do this again.
You just find yourself in these moments that are so bizarre. You're like yelling at a 3-year-old because he's not nailing dialogue or something. You take this introspective moment and you're kind of out of it, and then the 2-year-old comes over and just puts a booger on your head, and you can't even be mad. That's an experience I've never had. And for me, I don't have any kids, and definitely after making the film, I'm gonna try my best to keep it that way.
He's like, no, I'm done. Boogers
done.
and juice boxes, not for me. I'm gonna just keep on moving.
So in the light of things like Boyhood that came out where somebody's following a child for a long period of time, do you think that you're going to see more things along these lines where someone is following their own kids or following a batch of children for a while?
I wouldn't be surprised because I think working with children and capturing children is the hardest part of filmmaking.
Capturing children is also illegal in most states.
Yeah.
So you have to get the box on the stick with a cookie.
And the candy van.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of the movies, because I have so many kids, I'm watching kids' movies. Mm-hmm. And a lot of it is bad. It's really overacting. And a lot of it has to do with the legal amount of time that you have to work with them.
Is that why you had to use your own children?
That was part of the case as well. Yeah. We did still shoot with about 4 or 5 hours a day, so because that's all they can really handle.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it gets to an exciting place. I think if filmmakers choose to do that, they'll arrive at another genre that goes deeper into being a child and the ideas of being a child.
So yours is a really depressing movie. Did you do that because you were watching all of these saccharine Disney movies all the time because you have that many kids? This is my response. No.
Yeah, I think I did want to strike a balance. The film there are some heavier tones, but there's a lot of lighter tones too. I think it does a good job of capturing the complexity of the human experience to some degree. It's you can have a really intense scene where Harper's character is processing the fact of raising these 4 kids alone, or if she calls the cops, the family's going to get broken up, and that's kind of the subtext of the film. But for the most part, you're watching kids dance to video games in their underwear and fight each other and tell great jokes. So I think it's a complex thing, and I think that's really honest, and it's one of the things I'm more proud about we were able to capture with the film.
So before we're out of time, there were younger kids in this. Did you guys take filming nap times? You're just all going to break for 2 hours in the middle of the day and be like, we're enjoying this, we're going to rock back and just nap.
Well, we mainly do everything. So there was no, Rodrigo and I, we had 2 other people on set working with us, so there isn't any time to nap, really.
Unless you're acting.
Yeah.
So how have everyone at South by Southwest, have they seen it here yet? Have you had the premiere
premieres
screening?
tonight at 7:45 at the Violet Crown.
Violet Crown is pretty
Violet
good.
Crown, yeah.
Violent would be better.
Yeah.
But it's violent.
Violet Crown.
Are you nervous at all to watch it with a crew of people?
Yeah.
The K-Town Cowboys said that they were going to get drunk before watching their own movies, so, which I approve, gentlemen. I hope you do.
But these are parents going in to watch their kids on film. I don't think going in drunk is going to make the good statement they want.
No, and they are going to, the kids are here. They're going to get to be at the premiere, so furthermore, we all have to stay sober.
All right, so thanks for being on the show. Amazing time with the movie. Can't wait to see it. And good luck at South by Southwest and wrangling those kids around downtown. I do not envy you at all.
Thanks so much
Thank you,
for
Mike.
having us.
All right, so we'll be back right after this.